So how do you handle gaps of employment? For different reasons, some good, probably some not so good, we sometimes get gaps in our employment. We have times where we have significant months, sometimes even years in between different work experiences that we've had, or we maybe had an illness. We maybe, if you're a lady, decided to stay at home for a significant period of time. You need to know how to handle these various gaps of employment. And here's the first recommendation that I tell people, and these are my top 3 tips on how to overcome this particular job search constraint. Number 1 is to use a functional resume. Now, I do prefer a chronological over a functional, but if you're a person who has significant gaps of employment in your resume, you're going to get a better chance of getting a response with a functional resume because it's going to highlight your experience and what you've done and kind of minimize the years in which you did this experience. Another thing I would encourage people to do, and it's a simple thing, is a lot of resumes anymore have just the years. They don't have the months. And so it's pretty acceptable for you if you, let's say, were out of work for 5-6 months and there's that kind of gap, then just go with the years. And you can match up the years accordingly and it'll make it fit and handle a little bit better. So that would be some of the suggestions I'd have when it comes to a resume. The second thing I would tell you to do is lean hard on your references. In other words, find people that you worked with, if you're able to locate them, and get them to give you a letter of recommendation, somebody that really can speak to your work ethic, what you brought to the team, your abilities, your talents, and lean hard into that. And you could let people know in an interview, hey, I know I've been out of work for the last 2 years, but here is John Doe, and he can speak highly of my work ethic. He said, in fact, he'd welcome a call and would love for you to have a conversation about me and what I'm capable of doing for you in this company. So really, you got to lean hard on the references. And then finally, number 3, get a temp job as soon as possible. This particularly works well if you've been out of work for a good period of time, and let's say the years have changed and you were laid off last year and now you're 4 or 5 months into the new year, and it's looking bad on your resume to show that your work ended in the year before. Then I would encourage you to find some kind of temporary, some short-term consulting type assignment and really get your experience quickly and get something on your resume. It shows that you're keeping your skills fresh, you're staying updated, and things are still functioning and working properly. So those are the top tips that I would encourage you to use on how to handle gaps of employment.